Hello and welcome back to the Road to Good Cooking, and today I'm going to be trying another new fresh milled flour recipe making basic pie crust. And I'm going to be making mini pies made with Asian pears, and they were super delicious. And the crust was delicious from the top to the bottom. And when I tell you it would taste like eating a cookie with pears. I mean, it was just that good. Let me show you how I put it all together. While I was in the kitchen, I decided to make this basic pie crust. And I had just enough, I milled enough flour yesterday where I have enough for this recipe. And I have never made pie crust with vinegar and 1 egg. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, so it called for 2 cups of whole wheat flour milled fine, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 4 sticks of butter, 1/2 cup cold water, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and 1 egg. And I whipped it all together in my mixer. Let me show you what it looks like. Here it is. And it's getting kind of late, so I'm not going to make any pies today, but I'll make I have some Asian pears, and I'm going to make I don't know if I'm going to make a little personal pan size or one big pie. I don't know. I'll figure that out tomorrow. Okay, take my dough hook out of here. I've had so much fun trying new recipes. And I'm real curious to see if this pie crust tastes as good as mine. We'll find out, won't we? I might just make some little pan pies. That might be good, because I can make a bunch of those up and put them in the freezer and bake them when I get a sweet tooth. I'll share a few of them with my neighbors, but not many. And I'll probably share it with my neighbor, my old neighbor, Deena. Oh, she is heaven sent. And seniors, when you talk about you don't want to do any of this stuff, or you don't have anybody to help you with it, hook up with one of your neighbors or one of your grandbabies or something. And it works out real well for me and Deena, because Deena doesn't like to cook, but she likes to go thrift shopping. I love to cook, and I hate going thrift shopping. So she goes thrift shopping and finds me mason jars, and thank goodness for her, because I have enough mason jars to really tie me over. Because what was happening before, I would run out of mason jars, like on my months that I was canning a lot of stuff. And then I end up running out of mason jars. Well, now, since Deena has been keeping me hooked up, I don't have to worry about running out of mason jars. I'm going to put a little flour on my hand so I can handle this. I'm just going to roll it up in a piece of parchment paper, and I will put it together as a pie shell tomorrow. And this is the next day. The next few steps are going to be pretty well self-explanatory, so just sit back and watch me work like you always do. I got everything all chopped up, and the peels are going into my compost bin outside. Then I got my rolling mat out because I'm going to be making little mini pies for my neighbor Deena, the one that gets me all of the wonderful mason jars. So I'm going to make her a couple of mini pies like this. And I buy these things in bulk because I make a lot of little mini pies for my elderly neighbors, and they seem to love that size, and that works for me. So, you know what? This is a good thing. Real good thing. Okay, and once again, the next few steps are going to be pretty well self-explanatory. I'm going to be adding my sweeteners and my spices to my Asian pears. Now, my Asian pears, they're very crispy and crunchy, but they're more tart than they are sweet. So I'm going to add, you saw me add the molasses there. I love adding molasses to my fruit pies because it reminds me of the old-fashioned flavors of the pies that my mom used to make when I was a kid. And I don't know, it's just something about that flavor for me. So I'm going to be adding molasses, and you'll see me adding some let's see, brown sugar here later on, and I'm going to add a little bit of cane sugar. So I got 3 different sweeteners in there, but not a lot of each, just enough to take the, you know, kind of offset the tartness of those Asian pears. Alrighty, so sit back and relax, and I'll put on some softer music for you this time. So just sit back and relax and watch me work like you always do. Here I'm going to toss gently my Asian pears with a rubber spatula. That way I won't break up my pears. Here I'm adding a little flour just to add a little thickness to the pie filling. And I'm going to gently stir until everything is well combined. I always give my pie filling a quick taste. That way, if I need to make any adjustments, I can do so at this point. I had to mute the sound because the air conditioner just came on, and you know how loud that is. Now here's my pie dough. I took it out the refrigerator early this morning because it needed to, you know, kind of come up to room temperature, so it was easier for me to handle. I'm going to toss it around for just a few minutes. And my little mini pies are 5 inches. And I'm going to roll my dough out to about 7 inches here, this area right about here. That way to give me enough dough on the edges to, you know, make my trim around the top of these little pies. You got to have trim around the top of your pies. I do anyway. Alright, you just saw me cut my dough in half, so it's time to roll out some dough and let's make us some mini pies. My pies are in the oven, and while they're in the oven, I have about 20 minutes to spare, so I'm going to do a little housekeeping here. And my mat, I always wipe it off really, really good and make sure that there's no dough on here or flour or anything that might dry to my mat. I always wipe it off before I put it up, because like you always hear me fuss about things, I hate having to wipe something down or clean something before I could use it the next time. So this saves me a little bit of time, and it keeps my mat nice and clean. And after I get done with my pie tins, I always wrap those back up in the bag, and they'll be going in my pantry until I'm ready to use them again. And here's where I'm going to put the paper towel. This is a paper towel that was already in there. So I'm going to put that back on the mat, and then I'm going to roll it up around the rolling pin. And I love that stainless steel rolling pin. It makes everything so much easier to work with. I'm going to put it right back in the box that it came out of. Then I'm going to put it back in my pantry closet. And I'm going to finish up my canning project here. The carrots, those are for Sophie, and then I canned me some organic green beans, and they're so, so good. I hope you guys have been doing some canning as well. And I'm going to cover up everything with my beautiful towels that 4 Jars sent me a couple months ago, and I just love these towels. If you are not using 4 Jars lids, you are missing out on life. And here are my mini pies after they came out of the oven, and as you can see, they are golden brown and they look super delicious. You ought to smell my kitchen. It smells like the holidays. It really does. And here's a close-up for you. Oh yeah, I bet you want that one right there, don't you? But they look so good, and I already know they're going to taste delicious. And I was a little worried about the bottom of the pie shell. I didn't know if it was going to brown like the top did or not. But after I dug into one, and here's the one that I was working on, and when I tell you that pie was melt in my mouth delicious, believe it. And it is as crispy on the bottom as it is on the top. So I'm going to give this recipe a 10 out of 10. And look at the bottom of that crust. Look at that. Nice and golden brown and crispy. And it's like eating a cookie. I told you, it's like eating a cookie. And it's so, so, so good. Alright, so if you are new to my channel, thank you so much for stopping by. And I hope that you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. And please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, because that lets YouTube know that you enjoyed my content, and it helps with the algorithms. And this way YouTube will push out my videos to others that want to learn how to make mini Asian pear pies. And I hope you give this recipe a try too. You will absolutely love it. And they are super delicious. This is the perfect size for me, because if I make my pies any bigger, then I get like Miss Piggy and I eat up the whole thing. But this size is just absolutely perfect. So thanks again for stopping by and spending a few minutes of your time with me today. And I hope that you'll give this recipe a try. Be blessed. Always keep God first. Stay healthy, stay safe, and keep on cooking, and bake you some mini Asian pear pies. I'll see you when I see you.